Okay, so question number 6 is to give the name for SNO. Is it tin 1 oxide, tin 2 oxide, tin 3 oxide, or tin 4 oxide? Okay, so first let's analyze the type of compound we have. So you'll notice that we have tin, which is a metal, and we also have oxygen, which is a non-metal. So these are bonded together through an ionic bond, so therefore we have an ionic compound. So it's always important to know the type of compound you have because each of them have different rules. So now I'll just write the rules of naming ionic compounds. So when we name ionic compounds, we first want to name our cation. So cations are the positively charged ions. So this, for the case of our example, this is your metal. So you would just either say the metal's name, or if it was a positively charged, like polyatomic ions such as ammonium, then you would just name the cation. And then secondly, you name the anion, which, as you can guess, is the nonmetal. And you add the suffix of "ide" at the end. In the case of polyatomic anions, you would just simply name the polyatomic ion. I'm just going to write that down. This doesn't pertain to our example, but it's still important to know. So you don't need to add the "ide" at the end. And then for step 3, depending on the type of metal you have, it can have different oxidation states. So if your metal has more than one oxidation state, we can specify which one that is. And we do that by using the Roman numerals and the brackets. Or you can use the Greek prefix, but I tend to prefer just using the Roman numerals. Might be easier. Okay, so now that we know all of the rules to naming ionic compounds, we just need to figure out the name of the example that was given. So basically, for all the options that they gave us in the question, they already pretty much wrote out the cation and the anion that ends in "ide, and basically we just need to figure out what oxidation state tin is in. So to do that, we first need to look at the overall charge of our ionic compound, and you'll notice that it's just neutral. So whatever the oxidation state of our oxygen is, we know that the tin must have the same magnitude of oxidation state but the opposite charge. So for example, oxygen usually has an oxidation state of -2, with the exception if it was in a peroxide, but in this case it's not. So oxygen has an oxidation number of -2. So since we have a neutral compound, then we know that the tin must balance out this -2 charge. So it's going to have an oxidation number of +2. So therefore, we can just say that the name is tin 2 oxide. Okay, so now let's see what the junior tutor said. Given compound is an ionic compound, hence name it by naming the elements present. However, tin is a transition metal having multiple oxidation numbers, so it's necessary to determine its oxidation number in the compound. Remember that the oxidation number of oxygen is -2, hence in order for the compound to be neutral, the oxidation number of tin should be +2. Ergo, the name of the compound is tin 2 oxide. Okay, so this solution is correct.